listen up, fellow travellers, because I've got some absolutely massive news that's going to completely transform how we travel to Europe. Jetset Jeremy here, globe-trotting with a carry-on and a few too many opinions. This channel is your shortcut to travel freedom, clever money moves, and avoiding rookie mistakes. If you're planning any European adventures soon, you absolutely cannot afford to miss what I'm about to tell you. Trust me, showing up unprepared could turn your dream holiday into an absolute nightmare faster than you can say fish and chips. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another year, another set of travel rules to navigate. But here's the thing, these are not minor tweaks to the system. We're talking about the most significant overhaul of European travel since they invented the passport. And whether you're a seasoned European explorer like myself, or someone planning their first grand continental tour, these changes are going to hit you right where it matters most. So grab yourself a proper brew, settle in, and let me walk you through the 5 game-changing developments that will redefine your European travel. Because honestly, if you don't know about these, you might as well book yourself a lovely staycation in Blackpool instead. First up, and this is the big kahuna, we've got the European Entry-Exit System, or EES, as the bureaucrats love to call it. Now, this digital border revolution has been rolling out since October 2025, and by mid-2026, it is supposed to be fully operational across the entire Schengen area. In true European fashion, the system's ambitious, slightly delayed, and surprisingly efficient once it gets going, a bit like a French rail strike that actually ends. Here's what's happening. Those charming passport stamps we've all been collecting like vintage postcards, they're about to become as obsolete as a British summer holiday. Instead, you'll be greeted by space-age biometric scanners that'll record your fingerprints and snap a photo of your face faster than you can complain about the queue length. It's like something out of a James Bond film, except instead of saving the world, you're just trying to get to Barcelona for a weekend break. The system tracks every single entry and exit automatically. No more frantically counting passport stamps to figure out if you've overstayed your welcome. The computer knows exactly when you arrived and when you left, which means trying to pull a fast one on your visa limits is now about as likely to succeed as England winning the World Cup. The Europeans have essentially created the ultimate travel nanny, and she's keeping track of everything. Now the good news is that once you've registered, which happens during your first trip after the system launches, you're sorted for 3 years or until your passport expires. Subsequent visits become much smoother. Just scan your passport and provide your biometrics, and you're through. It's actually quite brilliant when you think about it, even if the initial setup might feel a bit invasive for us privacy-loving Brits. If you're budgeting for your trip but not factoring in travel insurance, you're not saving money. You're just gambling in a very boring way. I use ETA because getting stranded without coverage sounds inconvenient. But wait, there's more bureaucracy to love. Enter ETIAS, the European Travel Information and Authorization System. Think of it as Europe's answer to America's ETA system, except with a typically European twist of launching about 6 months after the EES gets sorted. So we're looking at around October 2026 for full implementation. This little beauty will cost you €7 and requires an online application before you travel. You'll need to provide basic personal information, passport details, and answer some security questions about your background and travel intentions. The application should be approved within 96 hours, but take my advice, don't leave this until the last minute. When these systems first launch, there's always a bit of chaos, and you don't want to be the mug stuck at the airport because your authorization hasn't come through. The silver lining, once approved, your ETS is valid for 3 years and allows multiple trips, provided you don't overstay the standard 90-day limit within any 180-day period. It's essentially a small price to pay for the privilege of exploring European culture, cuisine, and the delightful art of queuing in different languages. Now let's talk about what's happening closer to home. The UK has been busy creating its own electronic travel authorization system, and by the end 2026, it should be fully established and running like clockwork. The UK ETA, which costs £16 per person, became mandatory for most non-British visitors starting in January 2025, and the system has been expanding since then. What makes this particularly interesting for Brits is that from April 2025 onwards, even our European friends need an ETA to pop over for a visit. It's quite amusing, really. We spent years complaining about European bureaucracy, left the EU, and then created our own version that's arguably even more complicated. Classic British efficiency at its finest. The UK system is actually quite sophisticated. It links digitally to your passport, so airline staff can verify your authorization instantly during check-in. This means fewer delays at the border and hopefully shorter queues at immigration. Plus, once you've got your ETA, it's valid for 2 years and allows multiple 6-month visits, which is surprisingly generous by British standards. Here's something that will definitely impact your travel budget. Tourist taxes across Europe are getting a serious makeover. Cities are implementing increasingly creative ways to manage over-tourism and fund infrastructure. And frankly, some of these schemes would make even the most inventive council tax officer blush with pride. Venice continues to lead the charge with their dynamic pricing system that launched in 2025. By 2026, day visitors could be paying up to €10 during peak times, with prices fluctuating based on demand. Book early and you might get away with paying less, but show up during a busy period without advance planning and you'll be paying the full whack. It's like surge pricing for tourism, which is either brilliant or diabolical, depending on your perspective. Greece has significantly hiked their nationwide tourist tax, now calling it the Climate Crisis Resilience Fee. Rates have jumped from virtually nothing to up to €8 per night during the high season. That might not sound like much until you're looking at an extra couple €100 for a family fortnight. Portugal's Madeira Islands are now charging €3 per person to use their hiking trails, which seems steep until you realise they're using the money to maintain these absolutely stunning natural areas. The carry-on bag situation continues to be an absolute minefield. While the EU has been pushing for standardised free carry-on allowances across budget airlines, implementation remains patchy. Some airports with advanced CT scanners now allow liquids in containers up to 2 litres, but the rollout isn't universal yet. This creates the delightfully British scenario where you can take a full bottle of gin through security in Amsterdam but have to bin your travel-sized toothpaste in Paris. Airlines have become increasingly strict about bag size enforcement, particularly budget carriers who've discovered that oversized bag fees are a lovely little earner. My advice? Invest in a proper carry-on that meets the smallest common denominator of size requirements, because arguing with gate staff about bag dimensions is about as pleasant as a root canal performed by someone with no dental training. Looking ahead to the latter part of 2026, we're also seeing interesting developments in golden visa programs across Europe. Greece has introduced innovative startup investment pathways alongside traditional real estate options, requiring investors to create jobs rather than just park money in property. It's a clever approach that brings actual economic benefits rather than just inflating property prices for locals. Meanwhile, Spain continues to wrestle with their golden visa program, with ongoing debates about property-based investment schemes. The uncertainty reflects a broader European trend of balancing economic benefits against housing market concerns, which is quite refreshing to see governments actually considering the impact on ordinary citizens. France has also tightened language requirements for long-term residence permits. You'll need proper conversational French for multi-year permits and near fluency for 10-year residency. It's a sensible approach, really. If you're planning to live somewhere long-term, you should probably be able to have a decent conversation with the locals, rather than relying entirely on pointing and hoping for the best. The Schengen area expansion in 2025 with Bulgaria and Romania will be fully embedded by 2026, creating exciting new possibilities for overland European adventures. Road trip enthusiasts can now plan routes from Western Europe through the Balkans without border delays, opening up some absolutely magnificent destinations that have been underexplored by mainstream tourism. Let's be blunt, unexpected travel costs will happen. Medical bills abroad, lost luggage, flight delays? They don't care how carefully you built your spreadsheet. EKTA Travel Insurance steps in where your planning ends, offering fast, digital-first coverage without mountains of paperwork or fine print that requires a magnifying glass. I've reviewed dozens of insurance options, and EKTA's value to coverage ratio is unmatched for digital nomads and long-haul travelers like you and me. It's like having a safety net you don't feel until you need it. And when you do, you'll be glad you spent less than the cost of one airport sandwich to get it. Click the link below to get covered before your next adventure turns into a financial nightmare. But despite all these changes, Europe remains an incredible destination for travelers. The new systems, while initially daunting, are designed to make travel more efficient and secure in the long run. Yes, there's more paperwork and planning required, but the payoff is faster processing once you're in the system and better management of tourist flows to protect the destinations we all love to visit. The key to navigating 2026 and beyond successfully is preparation. Get your ETIAS sorted well before you travel. Ensure your passport has plenty of validity remaining, and budget for the various tourist taxes you'll encounter. Most importantly, don't let these administrative hurdles put you off exploring Europe. The continent's incredible diversity, rich history, and cultural treasures are still there, waiting to be discovered. So there you have it, your complete guide to the big changes hitting European travel this year. If you've made it this far, you're clearly a smart traveller. So hit subscribe for brutally honest travel advice, no fluff, no filters, just facts with sarcasm. Jetset. Jeremy's got your back. It might seem overwhelming now, but remember, we Brits have been successfully navigating bureaucratic obstacles for centuries. A few extra forms and biometric scans aren't going to stop us from enjoying proper European adventures, are they?